being Vivian Lee in this instance. And that was when I tell the story because it has to do with Gone with the Wind. She was appearing in Los Angeles in a play called Duel of Angels at the time in the Strand Theatre. And this was in 1963. And I was a struggling actor at that point. And so I went to see the play, and she was absolutely fabulous in it, I thought. Strangely enough, not a lot of people had gone to see it because it was playing in Los Angeles at the time, I think it was in November of '63, when John Kennedy was, or maybe it was earlier in '63, but when he won the Democratic nomination. And everybody was focused on politics in Los Angeles, and they weren't about to go see the play. And it wasn't heavily advertised. But I liked it so much, I went back a couple of times, and I went backstage afterwards. And when I went backstage, she couldn't have been nicer. First off, I noticed that she had a table full of liquor. And I thought, oh, dear, poor thing, she's drinking that. This is not a good sign. I didn't realize, unsophisticated me, that British actors always had liquor backstage to serve the guests when they came back, because in the British theater, backstage in the theater, they were used to entertaining after a show and relaxing a little bit instead of going out to a bar or something. So I found that out later. But she could have been nicer. And there was Robert Helfman, the great ballet dancer who was one of the co-stars of the movie Red Shoes, had come to see the performance that night. She was talking to him, and she was very gracious to me and chatting. And while we were there, she offered to drink and all of that. While we were there, a very elderly man came in who introduced himself and said he was, was announced by somebody who had to give a card and announced, and she said, yes, that was Wynn. And he was a man who had played a Confederate soldier in Gone with the Wind. And he said that he just wanted to come back and say hello to her and how much that movie has meant to him. And he said that he was still acting and doing extra work and things. And he'd recently done a Western, and he'd gone to Western costuming, which is a place where all actors used to get a lot of their costumes in Hollywood. And he said he had to play a old Confederate soldier, and he had wore the same costume, the Gone with the Wind costume. You know what I'm talking about? And she listened and she said, oh yes, that was a very nice movie, wasn't it? Yeah, talk about understatement. One person who couldn't be here tonight, who's certainly aware of all this going on, has been in communication about it, and is very anxious to hear how the evening went. Who is in Paris is Olivia de Havilland, who is 93 years old, pistol, full of energy and everything like that, and send her on regards. At the time talking to her about this movie, she did think Mary Anderson was going to be able to be here, and Tammy King was going to be able to be here, and they haven't been able to come because of illness on both of them, with both of them. But anyway, she did send a message. So from this moment on, before I leave, I just want to say this, how much I appreciated being with all of you tonight, and thank you for the kind reception. Thank you for supporting TCM, and also, you know that we think so highly of Gone with the Wind that the only film we would consider to start our channel when we went on the air 15 years ago, and it's of course the movie that we showed on our anniversary, April 14th, 2009. And we're showing it again on the actual day of the original premiere, December 15th, 2009. So it means a great deal to us, and you mean a great deal to me for your reception, and I really appreciate that. But now I'm going to turn it over to Olivia de Havilland.